the Bible's 7 greatest mysteries. In the pages of Genesis, the ancient narratives reveal a world vastly different from our own, shrouded in mysteries that continue to captivate and intrigue. This exploration will delve into 7 major enigmas presented in the Bible, each unveiling layers of profound significance and offering insights into the pre-flood era. Before the Deluge, unveiling a lost world. The ancient narratives of Genesis transport us to a time shrouded in mystery, a world vastly different from our own, before the cataclysmic deluge reshaped the landscape of human history. Delving into the profound mysteries of this pre-Diluvian epic offers a glimpse into the distant past, where the tapestry of life was woven with threads of divine design and human frailty. In the early chapters of Genesis, a world unfolds before our eyes, a world teeming with life, yet shadowed by the specter of sin. Before the floodwaters engulfed the earth, humanity flourished in a civilization marked by innovation and ingenuity. However, beneath the veneer of progress lurked a darker reality, a reality tainted by the insidious spread of violence and moral decay. The narrative of Cain and Abel serves as a poignant allegory, portraying the tragic consequences of envy and disobedience. Cain's Lineage, a legacy of violence. Cain's lineage, as depicted in the biblical narrative, is fraught with the consequences of the first recorded act of murder in human history. This initial transgression sets the tone for subsequent generations, where jealousy, anger, and violence become recurring themes. Despite God's intervention in establishing a new lineage through Seth, the narrative reveals a persistent thread of moral corruption passed down through the ages. The emergence of significant figures such as Enoch adds depth to this lineage, showcasing both the potential for righteousness amidst a backdrop of moral decay. Enoch's righteous life, as highlighted in the biblical account, stands as a stark contrast to the prevalent wickedness of his time. Furthermore, the development of music and civilization in the land of Nod, where Cain settles after his exile, adds layers of complexity to the narrative. It suggests that even amidst the consequences of sin, humanity's creative and innovative spirit persists, albeit sometimes misdirected. The Nephilim Invasion, unearthly forces, and spiritual corruption. The biblical passage in Genesis 6:1-2 introduces a profound theological narrative regarding a sinister event in ancient history. It speaks of a time when fallen angels, often interpreted as rebellious celestial beings who followed Lucifer in his defiance against God, descended to earth. These fallen angels, referred to as the sons of God, engaged in illicit relationships with human women. The result of these unions was the birth of a hybrid race known as the Nephilim, who were described as giants or mighty men of old. This narrative raises several theological questions and interpretations within Judeo-Christian theology. Firstly, the identity of the sons of God has been a subject of debate among theologians throughout history. Some interpretations suggest that they were indeed fallen angels who rebelled against God and sought to corrupt humanity. Others propose that they were descendants of the godly lineage of Seth, intermarrying with the ungodly descendants of Cain, thus leading to a corruption of the righteous line. Days of Noah, a world entangled in materialism. In Luke 17:26-30, Jesus draws a parallel between the days of Noah and the conditions prevailing before the flood, providing insight into the societal and spiritual climate of that era. This comparison serves as a lens through which we can understand the prevailing conditions before the deluge. The passage highlights a societal malaise characterized by rampant materialism and spiritual blindness. People were consumed by their daily activities, preoccupied with mundane pursuits, and oblivious to the impending judgment. This engrossment in worldly affairs left them spiritually unprepared for the cataclysmic events about to unfold. By dissecting the societal dynamics of the time, we can discern a culture driven by materialistic pursuits and devoid of moral consciousness. The narrative sheds light on the spiritual blindness that permeated society, where individuals were so caught up in their own interests that they failed to recognize the signs of divine intervention. Jacob's ladder, a divine connection and spiritual mediator. In Genesis 28:11-12, Jacob experiences a visionary dream where he witnesses a ladder stretching from the earth to the heavens, with angels traversing its rungs in a constant flow of ascent and descent. This imagery serves as a powerful metaphor for the bridge between humanity and the divine, symbolizing the potential for spiritual ascension and communion. The significance of Jacob's ladder extends beyond its literal depiction in the biblical text. Jesus Christ, in John 1:49-51, alludes to this sacred event, affirming its enduring spiritual relevance. Through his reference, Jesus emphasizes his role as the ultimate mediator between God and humanity, embodying the essence of the ladder itself. In doing so, he underscores the profound connection between the Old and New Testaments, bridging the gap between ancient prophecy and contemporary revelation. 3 heavens, unveiling cosmic realms. The biblical concept of heaven is rich and multifaceted, offering a glimpse into different dimensions of existence. In exploring these dimensions, we encounter a triadic understanding that encompasses 3 distinct realms. The first heaven, often depicted as the atmospheric realm, surrounds the earth with its vast expanse. It is the realm where clouds form, where birds soar, and where the weather patterns of our planet unfold. This first heaven is intimately connected to our earthly existence, influencing climates and sustaining life as we know it. Moving beyond the first heaven, we encounter the second heaven, which expands into the celestial realm of outer space. Here, the boundaries of earthly confines dissolve, and we enter a realm of cosmic wonders. The second heaven encompasses the vastness of space, adorned with celestial bodies like the sun, moon, and stars. However, it is the third heaven that holds the utmost significance in the biblical narrative. This third heaven transcends the physical and cosmic realms, representing the spiritual realm where God's divine presence dwells in its fullness. It is not bound by earthly limitations or cosmic boundaries, but exists beyond the confines of space and time. Described as God's dwelling place, the third heaven is the epicenter of divine majesty and glory. The 24 elders, thrones, crowns, and heavenly representation. In the book of Revelation, the throne room of God is described as a celestial realm where divine majesty reigns supreme. At the heart of this awe-inspiring vision are the 24 elders, enigmatic figures adorned in white robes and wearing golden crowns. These elders symbolize a revered and exalted presence, positioned around the throne of God, participating in profound worship and offering praise. Their significance within the biblical narrative transcends mere symbolism, as they represent a link between heavenly realms and earthly affairs. Some interpretations suggest that the 24 elders symbolize the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles, signifying the continuity and unity of God's chosen people throughout history. Others view them as celestial beings or representatives of redeemed humanity, reflecting the diverse facets of creation united in worship before the Creator.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.